You was waiting.
You niggas been waiting for me. You've been waiting for me. Full disclosure. I don't actually have no topics. So I'm not going to do what everybody thinks I'm going to do, which is just flip out. But before I get into my cook, I'm gonna go ahead and just go through I have a save folder called clips to react to. So we're gonna just go ahead and run through that. So I want to run through this story. I think it's in Korea. So let's go ahead and play this. So this is a story where basically a woman, I think she was having some kind of like medical emergency, and the men around didn't help. So the young lady is talking about that. So I'm going to come in and come back out.
Are refusing to help women. A few days ago, a woman in her 20s lost consciousness and fainted when she was on the subway. Apparently, there were a bunch of men in their 20s and 30s who refused to help, and saying something to the extent of, "It has nothing to do with me," which got the women on the internet pissed. According to the Korean woman, the reason being, all able-bodied Korean men have to serve military service. They do learn CPR in the military. So it was expected for men in their 20s and 30s who likely just got out of the military to jump in and help because they know how to do CPR. But a lot of the men on the train didn't. And their reason being, they did not want to be accused of sexual harassment. There were a few incidents where men were actually accused for sexual harassment for trying to help the women. Back in 2014, a South Korean woman had actually tried to sue a male EMT paramedic for doing CPR and doing chest compressions on her. Although the paramedic wasn't charged or convicted with anything, since he was reported, he still had to go through an investigation. There was also another story shared of a Korean guy going up the steps in the subway station, and there was a woman in front of him seemingly about to fall. He put out his hands and tried to grab her from the back to prevent her from falling. The girl freaked out and called the police on him, and he ended up in the police station. That being said, these are all the men's side of the story. They'd rather be a bystander than getting their names tainted with SA. This all seems a little crazy to me. I mean, I get it if you don't want to touch the person because you don't know what's going on, at least call for help. What do you think? Some Korean men are refusing to help women. A few days ago, a woman in her 20s lost consciousness and fainted when she was on the subway. Apparently, there were a bunch of men in their 20s and 30s who refused to help.
So, the Crimson Cure had did a show a while back on the 4B movement. The 4B movement is a radical feminist movement where basically it works off the premise that women in modern times have all these barriers they still have to break through, all these milestones they haven't reached yet, and that basically they've been marginalized, or there are things that, because basically for all this shit to be valid, you would have to be able to talk about things you wanted to do or wanted to accomplish, but you were told you were not able to accomplish these things because you were told you're not able to apply for this because you're a woman. You're not able to get this job because you're a woman. None of that goes on in 2024. All right, we're years past that. Okay. And even the laws we did used to have, they all kind of made sense. I mean, for the most part, everything kind of went to shit after feminism. You know what I'm saying? And so with the 4B movement, the 4B movement is about women basically abstaining from everything that has to do with men, from conversation to relationships to marriage to having babies and of course to having relations. You know what I'm saying? You already know. You already know how I'm gonna give it up. I don't care what movement you're a part of. I'm gonna be like,
it's your body. If you love me, let me get your body.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I want your body. If you love me, let me get your body.
You feel me? No, I'm joking. I just been trying to find any reason to play that shit. Let's play it again. One more time.
It's your body. If you love me, let me get your body.
Who is that how you ask for sex? Y'all awakening? You pull up action to get a body? You ask to, hey, can I have your body today? What? No one talks like that. Like, y'all ninjas should be able to tell when someone is scamming when they say things that people don't actually say or do or feel. But anywho, so the 4B movement became famous over in Korea, I believe. You know what I mean? So there's an ever-growing climate, and what seems to be going on in Asia is they're also, even though they're very conservative people, obviously there are more growing pockets of like more liberal thinking people, and they get into a point in Asia where like, yo, like the population is like basically being able to keep the population going. It seems to be a topic of conversation. I haven't done a lot of research on it, but it seems to be an issue, you know what I mean, in terms of people getting together. But actually, overall, in general, we're producing less. We're probably producing less people. Because if they're talking about almost half of all women will be single from I think 19 to 45 by the year 20, I think 2030, something like that. And you know, we gotta really think about like what these things mean. But anywho, go into why these young men didn't intervene. Now, I do agree with the young lady. Yes, like if you see someone having a medical emergency, I'm sorry. I mean, I can't see someone faint and not do anything. But also that also has to speak to the climate, because that's not even how men move. You know what I'm saying? That's not even how men move. But you know what though? There's a big issue with morale for the men in almost every country, because we don't really have much that makes the young men feel proud to be a man. Because for the most part, you know, what I think is about to happen is we're about to go through a whole reset where a lot more young men are going to have to find a way, or they're going to be looking for a way to go through a masculine journey. Again, more people are training, more people are lifting weights, more people are trying to become stronger. This is more people doing from weapons training to combat, you know, boxing and jiu-jitsu. It just, you know, there's more people who are interested in those kind of things, even if they don't stay with it. But there's more people that kind of diversifying like how they spend their time. So anywho, yeah, I think it really speaks to the climate over there. There must be a huge disconnect if there were a bunch of young men around and they saw someone have a medical emergency and they didn't, you know, they didn't do anything. And what's probably going on, I think, is the men are starting to check out, and the men are starting to say, you know what, this is no longer a fair deal. And I can't say it's all the way right, but I think what a lot of men are starting to feel like as well, nothing about what I am is celebrated, or it's not presented to me in a way that makes me feel appreciated. Because here's the thing about appreciation. Again, if the person's not able to feel the appreciation, then it can be a bit of a waste. You know what I mean? And again, it's not hard to make a man feel appreciated. It could be as simple as saying thank you. You know what I mean? And taking time to say thank you and why you're saying thank you and the thing you're saying thank you for. And, you know, you can give them a kind gesture, hand them a plate of food. I don't know, something. Right? And that person will feel appreciated, you know? But anywho, more than anything, this world cannot be strong and continue to go on if we don't raise the young men to be, you know, to be wolves, be aggressive, to be savages in terms of doing what needs to be done. In terms of what pushes us forward, we need men who have balls, men who have drive, men who have the will to say, this is how things should go, and I want to see this through. Or this is the system that I put together. This is the plan I put together, and I want to see it through. Like I was talking to my boy earlier, and we was talking about like, yo, one of the most powerful things that you can learn, because we was talking about battle rap. I said, bro, it's time to start transferring them skills that you learn from battle rap so you can make some money, because you're not gonna make no money in battle rap. For real. You know what I'm saying? You need to get your ass over here. What I'm doing. That's why I came over here to YouTube. I'm like, oh, forget that. No, I'm coming to get all the money. I feel as though I'm owed millions from this shit right here. I done put in mad work, son. But going back to putting in mad work, so more than likely, what's probably going on over there is that they're experiencing what American men experience, except that they're not Western men. They're responding in kind, and they're sending a message to the women over there. And that message is, listen, y'all go ahead with that feminist shit if you want. Listen, we're going to go our own way. They're going to make town on that ass. Okay, you understand? So they saying straight up like, yo, and you know what's probably going on over there is that, yo, they understand this whole dating game thing is not a solo mission. A lot of men fail because they think dating and relationships is a solo mission. Women don't do that. Women compare notes, women communicate, and when women also instill other ideas that will make it to where basically, like, so for example, right, even the whole concept of a man thinking that he needs to take a woman on a date. For the most part, most women don't actually get dates when they have sex. For the most part, the dude they're gonna have sex with, they'll meet that guy. They may know that guy. You guys may be at an office party. You guys may go to the same school. You guys just might just be hanging out. Like, I mean, I don't really believe in dates like that. I mean, well, if I'm not in a relationship, yo, first time we kick it, yo, we gonna kick it. Not enough, because like, for what? It's like dates don't get you vagina. She's already decided. It is you. It's up to you to know whether or not a girl like you or not. Right? But anywho, so those men are taking a stand. Those men have compared notes. Those men have spoken, and those men have all agreed not to do anything for those women if they're saying that they don't want a man or don't need a man, or if this society is saying that what I am doesn't matter or it shouldn't be honored or it shouldn't be appreciated. And I'm like, yo, women, you need to be careful. It's time to start walking that shit back. And it's time. Listen, everything has a back in perspective. Because I will say this though, men have to realize that you're going to have the kind of relationship where she looks up to you and she respects you, and you're going to have to do certain things that may involve you taking an L and losing them. All right, that's something you have to accept with women. You may lose her. You more than likely, especially in this era, you more than likely going to lose her. That's why you need to be the prize. And that starts with you being able to take care of yourself and sustain yourself. And you being able to live well with your own income first. All right? However you got to get there, however long. And also, don't worry about how long it takes. Just keep doing the work. Oh, my camera is not how I want it to be. I don't know what's going on with my thing. I gotta get my positioning better.